Abdias Nascimento was a great leader, a great political leader, a great civil rights leader, and a great cultural leader. He was an artist, he was a politician, he was a civil rights advocate, he was a painter, he was many things. He left us a week ago, 7 years after having fought for not only for the rights of blacks in Brazil, but for the rights of blacks all over the world. Abdias was an internationalist. He was a real Pan-Africanist. He had this great love for people of African descent wherever they were. He didn't care where they were born, whether it was in Cuba or in Haiti or in the Congo, South Africa or Ecuador. He had this great love because he understood that these were the people who had been the most brutalized in history, had been the most dehumanized. So therefore he threw his lot with these people. But beyond this love for people of African descent, people of Africa, whether on the continent or outside of the continent, he had a love for mankind, humankind. I shouldn't say mankind, but humankind. Because he understood that there was a basic unity that all human beings shared in common. The fact that they belonged to the same species, the fact that they came from Africa, the fact that they emerged from one same process whereby hominids in Africa became modern humans. So he had this clear vision about humankind. He was not a chauvinist. That's why he was not a chauvinist. He was not xenophobic. He did not care about frontiers, did not care about national divisions. He cared about a basic unity among human beings. And he saw that that basic unity had to start somewhere, concrete, and that where it had to start was among black people themselves. People of African origin had to recognize themselves as members of a great family, of a great African family. They had to stop being ashamed of being African, stop being ashamed of Africa, and take Africa, integrate Africa, and fight against the internalized racism that so many centuries of oppression, of racial slavery, and of racial denial had inculcated in us. So the man who just died a week ago was a giant. He was coherent in his ideas, in his fight, up to the last minute. It happens that he was my friend. He was the oldest friend that I had. This year, the year in which he died, this month of June, it was exactly 50 years since our first meeting in Havana in 1961, when I was 19 and he was 51 years old. So that gives me a certain type of authority to talk about his life, because I saw him evolving and struggling all along a long period of 50 years in which we were friends, political allies, and real brothers, real brothers. So we were communicating on 3 different levels: the level of brotherhood, the level of political alliance, and the level of friendship. And I must say that in 50 years, I never saw Abdias do anything which I could say was really against the interests of African people. And as we talk about them, we must know that we're not talking about a saint, we're talking about a human being with their frailties and with their strong points. It so happens that with Abdias, his strong points were way stronger than any of his frailties. So that's the man who left us a week ago.